The human and health impacts of climate change are becoming difficult to ignore. Extreme weather events are disrupting more lives and exacerbating the existing inequalities in health and healthcare. On this episode of Health Digest, we take a look at how climate change is impacting on access to healthcare services in Baringo County due to rising waters of Lake Bogoria and Baringo. 4 years ago, this small health center in a small corner of Baringo was a beehive of activity. Women, children, and men trooped here every day for all manner of health services, and for decades, this facility served the small community here quite well. But today, all that is history. The health center is gone, swallowed inch by inch by the rising waters of Lake Bogoria. Here in the calmness of the vast expanse of a lake known for its splendor and volcanic past, this small structure stands in absolute misery. Its glory days are gone, and with it, the health dependencies of the hundreds of families who live here. We begin our special report on the effects of climate change on Kenya's health systems here. Loboi Dispensary in Baringo County is a desolate marker of what happens when Mother Nature revenges on the indiscipline of mankind, a warning that all is not well and that nothing will stand in the way of this greatest ecological disaster of our times. Fancy Kiprotich, a community health volunteer who worked here for years, is horrified by the destruction. Every now and then, she makes the pilgrimage to the ruins of what was once her workstation. And every time she comes here, she is mortified by the enormity of what this spectacle means for her and the community she serves.
Since 2018, kulikuwa na changa ya flooding na Lake Bogoria ikaanza kuswell na ikaanza kumesa hiyo hospitali yetu. So since 2018, we face so many challenges as the residents of Loboi location. Kwanza tuliweza kupoteza maternity wing ambayo ilikuwa inasaidia wamama zaidi ya 300. Wamama hata zaidi ya 20 something walikuwa wanasaa every month. Within a year tulikuwa tunapatanga more than 120 something women wenye wamejifungua with zero cost. Lakini tangu hiyo hospitali ilipokuwa imemeswa, tukaanza kuathirika sababu hatuna hospitali ya Swiss Peak within Loboi location. So inabidi umetrack kutafuta, unaweza tuko tuna mahali moja penye tumehamishia dawa yenye watu wanapata tu.
Experts have been warning that climate change is affecting every aspect of the healthcare system and worsening existing inequalities in healthcare. For instance, Loboi was the only facility the residents here could depend on for outpatient and maternity services. And now, the facility stands submerged in these murky waters that produce a pungent smell that hovers over the shoreline.
County government waliweza kutusaidia na ofisi moja yenye walikuwa wanatumia, tukaweka dawa. Hapo ndio nasema watu wanaenda huku saizi. Lakini tumepoteza maternity wing ambayo ni hasara kubwa sana kwa wamama na wakaaji wa huku. Tumeweza kupoteza lab, hatuna. Sasa vitu mingi na saizi hauwezi pimwa kama mjamzito sababu unaona hizo vitu si mingi hakuna. Ina vitu umeenda Marikat kujaribu kama vitu ya lab test. Na kitambo ulikuwa unapata hapa. Sasa unaona wamama wengi wameathirika, hata wengine wamekosa kuattend hizo mambo na clinics. Ama watoto wengine wamepoteza immunizations because kuenda mpaka Marikat unapita huwa na 400 kuenda without lunch, without anything. So unaona we are incurring a lot of costs and we are supposed to access to that health for free. So kama mlaaji wa Loboi na sema tumepoteza vitu mingi sana. Na tunaomba serikali waweze kutufanyia haraka ili tuweze kupata because this is a very big necessity to our community.
So critical was the role the dispensary played in this community that its absence now also threatens the well-being of the county's youth who would throng the facility for sexual reproductive health services.
What is happening mostly, I think there is high rate of HIV transmission because most of the youths cannot even afford to buy those condoms. So they end up, when they are drunk, they end up messing. or they end up doing that act without that protectives. But earlier on walikuanga na hiyo protectives, sasa wangeweza kujiprotect. Hata kama walikuwa wanakimbia hospitali, akiona hana chochote anakimbia hospitali anachukua. But now because maisha ya saizi, as we speak, the economy of Kenya is rising that high. So they are seeing that they better buy for food than to buy for a condom. Kulikuwa na kiting and counseling kwa wasichana ambao walikuwa wanaanzia na 12 years. Because I was among the committee ya hii hospitali. Even within the fraction yenye hii hospitali submerge, nilikuwa kamati. 2, tulikuwa tunapeana guiding and counseling kwa wasichana. Kulikuwa na tetanus vaccination yenye tulikuwa tunavaccinate wasichana kutoka miaka 9 mpaka wamama wa 45 years. They were hovering that. Another one, most of the ladies or most of the children, teenagers could come even for family plan na wangeweza kupewa. So wangeavoid hizo mambo na allergenic pregnancy.
Climate change is rarely discussed in the context of its effects on health systems. There has been little research into what rising temperatures, swelling lakes and seas, and flash floods are doing to Kenya's health ecosystem. But in the few days we traversed this county, we saw firsthand what decades of climate degradation are doing to dispensaries and health centers. In Kambia Samaki, an idyllic fishing village along the shores of Lake Baringo, the service charter of what was once the local dispensary still shouts its promise from a distance. But beneath it, the rising waters of Lake Baringo tell another story. The waves constantly lash at the facility, washing away into the depths of the lake, not just the structure, but the promise and service it once stood for.
I've been living here throughout my life, and I've witnessed the water coming right from 2012, 2011, the first phase, the water started increasing, and 2019, 2020, which took the hospital. So, for me, it didn't happen just once overnight. It's something that happened within a year for the water to be taken for the water to take the hospital the way it has taken them.
Louis Juma has watched the dispensary wash away slowly and says this disaster is hard to comprehend.
It's actually been a problem since the water took the hospital, especially for the community living within the Lake Baringo Basin, that is from east to west and north. It has actually been a problem since it submerged. The reason why, because I'm saying it's a problem, if you see the people living within here, there are more than 5,000 people within the ecosystem of Lake Baringo. And many of them were depending on this hospital for medication. That is, those who are living on the island, when there's no medicine there, they have to be brought to this level 5 hospital that is here, and they get attention without being referred to other dispensaries.
The residents say the water levels in the freshwater lake began to rise gradually around 2011, and that since then, the lake has been claiming more land and pushing residents farther away as it expands its territory. Not even the dead are spared of this wrath. Kambia Samaki Dispensary did not only serve residents on the mainland, but also the ones who call Coco Island home. The facility that now remains a shell that stands in the hippopotamus and crocodile-infested waters acts a constant reminder of what the residents have been deprived of, courtesy of Mother Nature.
Tangu hospitali ingie kwa maji, watu walipata shida sana. Saa zingine watu wana pesa ya kwenda Marigat, na hapa wakati hapa ni wengi sana. Hapa tuko mixed. Watu ni wengi na hospitali hapa kutoka hapa hata Lupande Luruk ni mbali na hakuna hospitali. Korean ni mbali, hakuna iko hospitali lakini dawa hakuna. Mpaka hospitali yetu ni Marigat tu. Na kama una pesa hautamek.
Access to emergency services is poor, and I can say it's very poor indeed. County government is not doing anything to help at the moment because we have got no ambulance. The only ambulance you can find is in Marigat. And from Marigat, you go to Chamalingot. That is near the closest ambulance we have around. That's why recently I've been hearing of the cases of the snake bite in Baringo has been increasing. And deaths has been resulting to the bites from the snake bite. The reason is why? Because there's no emergency or anything that can help reducing or make sure that the victim, somebody who has been bitten by the snake, got medical assistance. Yeah. So it's actually a problem because there's no acting or anything. If you don't have money in your pocket, it's either you live or you die.
In what seems to be a move to remedy the dire situation, just like in Loboi, the county government set up a makeshift facility nearby to offer services. But the residents we spoke to said the facility does not adequately cater for their needs, and so they have to explore other costlier medical care alternatives. A trip to the county's referral hospital on a motorbike, which is the most readily available mode of transport here, will cost one 2,000 shillings to and fro.
Government should try to hurry because health is more important than anything else. Health center should be built with immediate effect because this dispensary was not only dependent by the Campesa Market people. People from Kokwa were coming here. People from the other side of the lake on the north, the Pokot people were coming here. Then James from Salabani, they were brought here. Those people have been maybe the soldiers who have been attacked by the bandits during the operation. Their medical attention could start here. But now as we talk, you have to wait either for the chopper to come or you lose your life. So by any means, they build a bigger hospital than this and put an ambulance because this is the center. Because those who are living by the side of the cliff, that is a Korean, they were coming for medication here. Yeah, they should build the big health center and maybe add with some staff quarter structures where the doctors can live so that it might be easier for somebody to access or to attend the patient.
Lake Baringo, whose rising waters have been attributed to increased rainfall in the surrounding uplands as well as shifts in the tectonic plates of the Rift Valley, has not only consumed Kambia Samaki Dispensary but also Ngambo Dispensary, further reversing previous equity gains in the county's health sector. A journey to Ngambo Dispensary is not for the faint-hearted. Even so, we braved the rugged terrain and the scorching Baringo sun to a clearing that opens up to remains of what used to be Ngambo Dispensary. From a distance, this facility may pass for a stalled foundation of a building under construction, but that is not the case. I am 1.5 meters tall. Ordinarily, for me to reach the ceiling of any standard building in such an environment, I have to stand on something to just boost my height. But believe it or not, this is me, standing on top of what used to be known as Ngambo Dispensary, that now sits on silt deposited from floods as a result of rising waters in Lake Baringo. Thorny bushes and papyrus reeds now dominate this once safe haven for the locals. When the waters came knocking, not even the concrete walls could protect the facility from the wrath of the lake.
Gloria, surprisingly, this is where I worked for 5 years, up to 2002. Then I was transferred to Marigat Hospital. This was our injection room, and this was our main door. This one here was the main door to the clerking room, where ANCs were seen, and this other one is the injection room. So this one, we used to serve both the ANCs, clerking, and a youth-friendly thing. This was the room where we see the youth. It's a youth-friendly center. Like, although it had no much about the youth, but at least we used to see them here. And I'm sure now, because there is no facility around, I'm sure those who want to get the services are forced to go up to Marigat or a dispensary that has been built around like 3 kilometers away from here. That is Sintan Dispensary.
Similarly, an array of services were disrupted and residents are now bearing the brunt of the floods.
Ni hapa ndio alikuwa tunadunga na daktari hapa. Anataka serikali isaidie sisi.
Sasa siku hizi mnapata matibabu wapi? Mnadungwa wapi?
Sintan Dispensary. Alafu na Marigat. Na kilomita 11 mpaka huko. Kwa sababu uko mbali sana.
Hiyo hospitali ilikuwa kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia hapa tukiwa watoto, lakini fenya maji imekuja ikasama. Sasa hatuna saa hospitali, tunateseka mbaya sana, hakuna bahali ya kwenda hospitali mpaka hapa ni Marigat, na tunatumia pesa mingi sana. Sasa naadhirika sana hapa leki natuletea umbu, tunapata ugonjwa kama malaria, leki tena natuletea magonjwa kama kolera, na kupata hospitali mbali sana. Sasa tunaomba serikali watujengee hospitali hapa karibu ili tuweze kusaidike.
There are 3 lakes in Baringo County which continue to wreak havoc due to changes in climatic conditions. These are Baringo, Bogoria, and a recent one formed in 1994 and named Lake 94.
So the effect on our health system is during the climate change, we've seen these lakes continuously swell and submerge quite a number of our facilities, especially the facilities that are around that lake, serving the communities around that lake. Like Lake Kambia Samaki Health Center got submerged, fully submerged. Loboi Health Center also fully submerged. Earlier on, Ngambo Dispensary had submerged. Earlier, that was the first effect of this climate change. We started by having Ngambo Dispensary and Salabani Dispensary submerged. The one which is also at the point of being submerged is Sirata Dispensary. That is by Lake 94. So that is the situation, and of course, once you lose an health facility, it's like we are losing the service, isn't it? Because that health facility is serving a certain population.
This disruption, according to the county's health services coordinator, has dramatically scaled down health services in the affected areas.
The county government also had to make a lot of intervention. One is they had to locate or negotiate with the communities around there, and also the departments that are the government departments that were also within that very region. So in Kambia Samaki, we were hosted by the KWS. They gave us a small temporary shelter where we continue to provide services.
Baringo County has a population of about 100,000 people who are served by over 200 public health facilities, including level 1 facilities spread across the country. Even with this number of facilities, it is clear that more still needs to be done to bridge access to healthcare here and keep the dream of ensuring equity and access to these crucial services alive. Natural disasters like floods have far-reaching consequences for the affected. And with the escalating climate emergency globally, county governments like Baringo and indeed Kenya as a whole are now forced to confront the twin monsters of the direct effects of climate change on populations, as well as the secondary implications of those effects on primary health care. Gloria Milimu, KTN News.